Good evening. Domestic violence happens between partners of all ages, sizes, races, and sexualities. It is acceptable in some nations and cultures, but shouldn't be, especially in a nation like the United States, where we learn that it's morally wrong to abuse people physically and mentally. While we try to educate people about violence prevention and how to resort to help if it's needed, we are barely making a difference. Domestic violence is still very alive. Now, let me ask this. Have you seen or been a victim of domestic violence? You should expect to see most hands go up, as every one out of fourth person has seen or been abused by their partner. Every fourth person you see has been physically or mentally scarred by the violence or disregard of a loved one. We are so quick to ignore the signs of domestic violence and ignore the fact that it can happen to anyone. While most domestic violence victims are women by men abusers, men get abused by women, homosexual couples experience domestic violence, and it can happen to the happiest of couples. Race isn't a defining factor either. Anyone can experience it. The law refers to it as a pattern of abusive behavior in any relationship that is used by one partner to gain or to maintain power and control over another intimate partner. But then you must think about the different types of abuse. There is physical, sexual, mental, and emotional abuse. If you are being hit, bruised, or beaten, it's domestic violence. If your partner sexually harasses you or engages in inappropriate sexual activity without your consent, it's domestic violence. If your partner screams at you, preaches of hurtful words, or refers to things that hurt you emotionally, it's domestic violence. Why hurt the ones you love? There are so many other ways to handle domestic violence issues, whether it's money or affairs, or whatever other problems couples go through. Resort to anger management, couple counseling, and for the abused, resort to domestic violence hotlines. Call someone, tell someone you know, someone you can trust. Without anyone knowing, how can we make a difference? According to loveisrespect.org, only 33% of teens who were in a violent relationship ever told about their abuse. That percentage is even lower for adults, especially with children involved. Not only can the physical effects such as scars, bruises, and black eyes be harmful to the abused, but the vulnerable, fearful, and anxious behavior from abused people can be detrimental. Children find it hard to cope with and develop social anxiety. The abused find it hard to speak up, and the abusers continue a vicious cycle of possessive power. Harming your partner is not acceptable. With love or without, it's a criminal offense, and the effects can be dreadful to a partner, child, or friend.